Hello, and welcome to Valkyries interviews with authors who are awesome. Today we have the fabulous, I know how pointing works, here we are, Joelle Presby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, you'll be watching this probably a couple weeks after we record it, but what you don't know is Joelle has just been so gracious for about half an hour while my computer lost its entire mind. So if either of us is loopy during this situation, then you know why. It'll be great. Thanks for joining us today, Joelle. I'm so excited to talk to you.
And so everybody knows, in case you are also watching me on other podcasts, I do wear other clothing. It just recorded 2 podcasts this morning. And so you might be seeing me in this and then seeing me again a week later, and then maybe in a week later, and it looks like I only wear outfit. So I just want that to be known.
That is a really key point. I definitely, because I've been doing these interviews stretched out, I was wearing the same shirt for 3 of them across 3 different days. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. At least you did all yours in the same day and wore the same thing.
It's the Steve Jobs thing. You know, you have 15 of the same shirt, and that's the shirt you wear.
That's right. This is our brand. This is author branding. You're welcome. I love that. I do own other clothes. I just do not choose to wear them.
Yeah, when you had the technology thing, I thought about, should I change my clothes? Because they're going to care.
I love it. I kind of want now some readers to be out there like putting together the timeline of our appearances on different podcasts based on our outfits. And I think that would be hilarious.
And then putting in the comments, do laundry.
You didn't have that pizza stain in the second podcast, but now you do. Maybe it's laundry time. That's about right. Oh man. Awesome. Well, today we are going to talk more about Joelle and her awesomeness and the awesomeness of her Valkyrie story. And we'll probably go off on tangents because
that's what we do.
Right. Why not?
Backstory, not tangents. Backstory, flashbacks. Yeah.
Yes. Bonus content.
That's bonus content. There we go.
That's what we're doing. That was good teamwork right there. I like it. That's awesome. Okay. So Joelle, you and I have been in a couple of anthologies together, which is why I asked you to be in Valkyries, because I always love your stories.
You. I love money.
You're so good. Okay. What do you write? And why do you write it?
I write words. Sometimes, if I'm really lucky and I work at them and pound them enough, they turn into stories, and then I get to share them with people. But yeah. And mostly I write science fiction and fantasy, because mostly that's what I like to read most.
Yeah.
And I've heard, like, through green rooms at conventions, that there are some people who write things that they don't actually enjoy. And I am grateful that I am not one of those people.
Yes, with you. It's hard enough when you love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people are really dedicated in a different kind of way. I love it. What do you think people should know about your stories?
Well, I'm only doing this because it's fun. And so I'm going to try and give you a fun story as best I can. And, you know, the world has horrible and nasty things that happen. And sometimes I'm going to incorporate those because they help for tension and for plot development and realism. But you're always going to get good triumphing over the evil in the end. And it will work out. And I'm going to give you a conclusion that you will like.
That's awesome. That's a fantastic bar. I love that. Also, I feel like, to your point, in this day and age, like a great reassurance too. Like if you're not ready to have your heart torn through the shredder and left there, this is going to be a good story for you.
Yeah.
That's good. Because one thing, you might tear somebody's heart through a shredder, but you won't leave it there. You'll give them a way to put it back together. I like that. What is a book that you love right now that you're just super into, or that you love to recommend to people?
Okay. Right now, I am in the middle of reading Demon Kissed by J.D. Blackrose, who I don't know if you interviewed her yet, but she is part of the contributors, and it's part of a trilogy. I just love it when there's a book that I like and the sequel's already out, and the trilogy that that concludes the series is coming out at the end of this month. So the title is Demon Kissed. The series is named Summoner's Mark, and it's by J.D. Blackrose. Yes, it's urban fiction, and I'm not done with it yet. But the main character can summon demons, and that's a really profitable thing to do in her urban fantasy world. Mm-hmm. And she's trying not to. She's trying to get by on a not very great paying job working at a fae bar because things have gone wrong with the demon summoning in the past. Yes. And there's just, it's a different take, but it's still solidly urban fantasy with all the fun things that you like with the genre in there.
That's awesome. So I did interview her. I don't know what order these are going to come out in yet. But so, folks, if you haven't already watched it or you're still anxiously waiting to watch the interview with J.D. Blackrose, she does talk a little bit more about this trilogy, and it is amazing. So, yeah, cosign. That's awesome. That's such a good one. So speaking of urban fantasy worlds and having really fun times in them, in Hit World, everybody has some kind of knack or talent, and it just might be magical. If they're able to develop it. So what would yours be?
My magic talent in real life is my friends. I cannot explain it, but somehow I am connected with or acquainted, or I know somebody or a friend of a friend. Every time that I've got a major thing come up, there is always somebody out there who helps me out. And I've just overwhelmingly been lucky in my friends.
That's like a wild friend appears, like your Pokemon. Yeah. I love it. And I imagine that's an awesome talent. And I imagine it's at least in part because you do the same for your friends.
I try, but I don't feel like I give back as much as they, as a greater community give for me.
Mm. That's lovely. I will say I've been introduced to 3 incredible authors who are not on my radar, thanks to this lady right here.
I'm glad. But I mean, those authors are very happy to have met you.
Oh,
they didn't see it as a favor to you. They saw it as a favor to them.
Oh, well, isn't that the best then? Yeah. When it's everybody wins. They are delightful and talented. So this is, the more great people we know, the better, right? So that's a great talent. So you would be like the queen of networkers, I feel, in Hit World.
I guess maybe, which seems really weird because I am solidly an introvert. But I guess one at a time I can handle humans. I don't know.
Right? No, that's fair. I feel like there are many reasons that we have such a range of abilities and strengths in the human race. And that introvert extrovert piece, I feel like often introverts are so insightful. And are able to focus so well, like one-on-one, because that's the way they process,
The way you're saying they makes me think that you might be an extrovert, one of those strange people who actually gets energy from being around people.
Yep, I am very much an extrovert. I would say the last 2 years have made me slightly more introverted. Now,
my empathy for all dealing with pandemic and not being able to be around your groups.
I know. I think it's actually made me more introvert. I didn't really suffer as much as I thought I was. Yeah. Now when I'm around people, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of people. It's a little intense. But yeah, I am very much an extrovert. My husband is very much an introvert. So that's fun times. But the strengths balance out. That's a thing. You're right. Those introverts. Those people. Okay, speed round. Doesn't have to be speedy. Can be however you like. What is your theme song?
Unfortunately, my theme song is Baby Shark by Pink Fong.
You said unfortunately. Because you just infected all of us.
It's constantly playing. It opened the portal that let COVID through. We don't know what's coming next, but it's...
No!
Baby Shark.
It was Baby Shark all along.
Yep.
That's... Yep, now I'll be just... Every time you're talking and I'm just going like this, I'm just... Grandpa Shark. Okay. It's going to be great. I don't even have kids. That song is infectious. Like a Fungus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your go-to game night choice?
Well, again, because I have kids, it's First Orchard, which has all these little wooden pieces that a toddler can chew on. It's too big to actually get swallowed.
Smart.
And an older child that's like maybe say 4, for example, can try to hold all 4 of the plums at once and run around squealing while the younger one chases, because purple is the best. And so, of course, they want the plums. Yeah. And meanwhile, the grown-ups can try to, all right, here's the crow. We roll the die, we take turns, and try to gradually sort of introduce the idea of gameplay.
I love it. It's training. Baby's first gaming.
Back in the distant past of before children, definitely spades. I really like to play spades. Nice. Spades actually helped me get my husband, because David Weber at one point would play spades games long into the night at conventions. And Andy wanted to spend more time with David Weber, and so he wanted to learn how to play spades. And so his one of the excuses to get to know me was that I was going to teach him how to play spades, and so he would be able to spend time with David Weber. But somehow Andy still has not learned how to play spades.
It was all a cover all along.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm realizing, you know what? Maybe Andy actually never really was interested in learning how to play spades.
I love how many years has it been?
Let's see, 2005. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and I love that just now you're like, wait a second. That's awesome. Because when you first said it, I definitely thought you were going to say like you won him in a game of spades. Like it was the thing, but this is even better. So good. That's awesome. Good job, Andy. Well played.
Well
literally.
Played. He wants me for my mind. Yeah.
That's right. All things, all encompassing. Yeah. So smart. Just not for your ability to teach spades. That's not what it's just the pretend. That was just the entry point. Okay, well, if your life were a TV show, what would the title of it be?
Interesting Times, as in the Chinese curse. Interesting times.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, so many things have happened that have been exceptionally lucky, and then so many things like, how could that go wrong so badly? Like with complications with pregnancy and having a OB who's been practicing for 30 years saying, I have literally never seen this happen. But, we get over it. Yeah.
Only way out is through. So
yeah.
I'm glad that worked out. So I have that issue with computer problems. Like computer experts are like, I have no idea how this has happened. But it sounds more terrifying when it involves you like making people.
A human?
So, yeah, that is a whole different level of, what do you mean you've never seen this before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Intense. What is or are your favorite treats, especially maybe after somebody has told you something like, I've never seen anything like this before?
I really love chocolate, especially dark chocolate.
Nice. Do you have any particular form of dark chocolate, or all equal?
I think all equally.
Nice.
I mean, sometimes I want nuts in them. Sometimes I want to go pure.
Yeah. Just whatever kind of mood you're in. I love it. I'm not going to make that joke. It's just going to be good. Are you team beach or team mountains?
Oh, beach. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a former Navy girl. It's got to be beach.
That's that's fair. Lots of ocean. Do you have a favorite one?
A favorite beach ever? Saipan. Yeah. It's in the middle of the Pacific, very, very clean, very few people, fine sand. The weather was beautiful for the one day we had off the ship.
Okay, fair enough. That's awesome.
So
Perfect.
I don't know how it is in general, but the one day that I was there was beautiful.
One perfect day. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Favorite pizza toppings?
I would like bacon, pepperoni, and mushroom.
Oh, yes. Nice combo.
I'm assuming, that calories do not count in this.
This is speed round. There are no calories. There's no reality. There's treats, pizza, beaches. Yeah. It's fine.
Usually I go with straight cheese and, just enjoy it. And so I can have a few more pieces and yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get you. What fictional character would you choose as a mentor?
Smeagol from The Lord of the Rings. Also,
oh my gosh.
This guy, it does not get proper credit. Who actually put that ring in the mountain? It was Smeagol.
Literally true. Correct. Yep.
The whole, in the beginning, everybody, Gandalf has no clue what's going on. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows where the Ring of Power went. Mm-hmm. Who is hiding it in the mountain? Smeagol.
Okay. So what exactly would you want to learn from him? I love this. This is fascinating.
Well, I love how he was portrayed in the movies, but also from the books and all the things he does. This is a character who can endure through no matter what is thrown at him, no matter how hard things go. And it's not that he's got a all-powerful wizard who's shepherding him most of the way or any of the advantages the others have. He is doing it alone, and he did horrible things in the past and he killed his best friend, but he didn't give up. He still kept going, and I think he's got a lot to teach people.
I love that.
Surviving and keeping going.
That's amazing, because I feel like I am sure there are people that we've already had somebody say Gandalf. I'm sure somebody out there would say Sam, maybe Aragorn. I don't know, but I do not expect that anyone else I interview is going to say Smeagol, and I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, my favorite character moments of him are in the last book, The Return of the King, where he's shepherding along these two hobbits who are just idiots, and he knows how to travel safely and quietly, but he's also fighting with himself and trying to choose the better side of how he could be, when really, he could just strangle them and take that ring.
Totally. He get his precious back super easy.
Yeah.
That's so great. I love it. So lessons in how to not strangle people. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're learning a lot about you, Joelle.
Sorry.
No, I love it. So good.
She's never going to be alone in a room with me now. She knows better.
No, untrue. I totally will. I'll just sit like this, just in case. It's fine. My neck is away. I can't see it.
Make sure you don't wear any shiny jewelry that I might
want. Nothing to catch your eyes.
Interest in the ring, just hand it over right away.
Look, I'm wearing it. It's fine. You can hold it. Yep. That's awesome. So good.
Make sure it's not my birthday.
Right? No, won't do that. That's funny. I also will not hang out with you near any pits of lava.
Okay.
That feels safe for both of us, I think.
Yeah, you might lose a finger.
Right, I might lose a finger. You don't want to go lava diving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good for either of us. That's so good. Are you a morning or a night person?
I am a middle of the afternoon person.
Nice. Nice. You know what? So there are so many questions in the bonus round that are very much like, are you this or this?
Yeah, and almost
no, it's very much like, actually, here's where I am, which I think is a much more interesting answer. Anyway. Plus, we need people at every stage of the day. You need that middle shift covered. That's important. So as we think about Valkyries, so this will be true for every interview I have because this anthology is phenomenal. These authors are amazing. I loved your story. I loved your Valkyrie. How would you introduce her to people?
She's the queen of idiots. In the story, you will see she is the internet queen of idiots, and she's trying to lose her throne, but she definitely earned that.
She did. There's glitter, guys. There's a lot of glitter involved. As you do. I love her. So one thing I really love about these short stories is everybody's character developed over the 7 to 10,000 words. And you put so much in your story. So with your Valkyrie, you get her relationship with her mother pretty quickly. You get her relationship with her roommate. You get her relationship with the TA, like with other things that I won't reveal because it's spoilery. And you get to watch little bits of that move along the realm, the what's the word, spectrum of relationships, and it's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
It was fun to see how many times I could make people laugh. This story.
Yeah, some
genres don't really lend themselves to humor very well, but urban fantasy, I think, can really be humorous and work well.
I agree. I think you should have fun with the inherent ridiculousness of some of the situations, and you did. I think some of my editorial notes to Joelle were just straight up like, I laughed out loud here. Like, so good. 3 words to describe your Valkyrie.
Plans go wrong. She tries to work everything out, and she even has the help of, because of who her mom is, which you'll learn about in the story. She has reason to think that she has an advantage over you or I in making plans work, but no.
That could almost be the title of the story.
Right. Except for how the title works with the end.
No, title's perfect. No notes. There were no notes on the title. But plans go wrong is that's a great summary. So what inspired the development either of your Valkyrie or the plot or both?
Well, I started with the idea of who her mom was. And then based on when I decided, all right, this is going to be a character, then I realized that actually the main character was the daughter. And figuring out how I could tell the reader what was going on in a way that the reader would really enjoy getting the bits and pieces a little at a time.
Nice. And I won't do any follow-up to that because I don't want to spoil anything.
Right, because it's just a short story. It's like 43 pages. If this is a novel, we could totally tell you the first 3 chapters.
We could tell some more, but you gotta read it. It'll be. I can't wait to hear what people think. Okay, what actor or actors would be perfect to play some of your characters?
All right, so if you've seen Jessica Jones, the lead character, Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter, I think she would be fantastic to play my main character's frenemy or roommate, the Addison Dayton, the boss. She'd never do it because it's not a high enough words, but this is the dream world.
Yes,
so Kristen is going to play Addison, and she would be fantastic at it.
I agree.
The goth frenemy with maybe a heart of gold. Maybe not.
maybe we're not sure yet. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, what's your favorite thing about Hit World, your Valkyrie, and or badass ladies in general?
My favorite thing is how you gave us all this one starter point of what you wanted the story to be, and people have taken it so many different ways. And I have not read the whole all the submissions, but I saw a couple because of people sharing them with me, and
because Joelle introduced me to some of the authors and everything.
I'm just amazed how you've done a great job giving us a hook where we can write all these different stories and they're all fun.
So fun. Yeah, I do love that. I love that about Hit World. So Rob Howell is one of our Valkyries authors, also heads up the imprint New Mythology for Chris Kennedy Publishing. So NBD, it's just wonderful. He coined the term, as far as I know, genre gumbo in relation to Hit World, which it is, right? Like Hit World is urban fantasy, but you got a little bit of a bunch of other stuff in there. You've got some noir, you can do some spy stuff, you can do action thriller, like you can put in whatever in there. And so we got some stories that are laugh out loud funny. We got some stories that are tear your heart through a blender and leave it there. We got some stories that are a character who totally knows what she's doing until she doesn't, or stories where they have no idea what they're doing and they get out by the skin of their teeth. Like it's such a range. And I love that because I think so often in literature and movies, the strong female character, that is her personality. That is the entirety of what we get.
Yeah. I think especially in visual storytelling, the actresses aren't always given scripts that allow any growth.
Yeah. Because they have to be perfect. Like to be the tough warrior woman, whatever, you have to be perfect.
I don't know. Maybe it's for the merchandising. I don't understand why they think this was a good idea. There must be a reason that they think. I'm sure they did focus groups, but I don't get it.
Sure. I guess
not in their viewership. Let me put it that way.
Same. Because it's lazy, right? It's the same as like when you have just like the one note male action figure. It's much less fun too. Yeah. Like give me something. Give us some fun. And we get a lot of fun in this anthology. Which is so fun. Oh, I love that. So good. Okay. What should I have asked you about that I didn't?
You should have asked me, why should an urban fantasy reader try out a near-term science fiction novel?
Yes, I should have asked you that. Tell us.
Okay. So, can I hold this up so can you see me?
Directions. Oh my gosh, this cover is so beautiful.
No, it's not going to work very well. All right. That was the front and back cover of my novel that's coming out in November. It's called The Dabare Snake Launcher. Dabare is a Fulani word that English really needs to have, which is why I used the title. Dabare is something you MacGyvered together that has an amazing amount of parts and is just fantastic when you look at it, and sometimes it'll actually work.
Amazing.
Yeah. But so this is a near-term science fiction. I've got two groups in Africa who are building spaceports. We're actually finally getting to have a space elevator. But my characters are Cameroonian, and I grew up in West Africa. And if you've ever worked on an engineering plant, I was in the Navy as a Navy nuclear power officer. Engineers are some of the most
I love this. This is like very dramatic. Yes.
I'm sorry. I
love it.
Have to correct my sailor language. Podcast.
It's way more fun that way, though. Go ahead.
Engineers are focused on the tech and everything, but they're also very concerned with luck and things not going right and the woo side of things. So in this character, in this book, I have Mami Wata as a character, and you probably don't know who Mami Wata is, but if you think about Mab and Titania, fairy queens, Mami Wata is an extremely powerful spirit creature in West African folklore. And she's someone that if she blesses you, everything you do is going to turn out beautifully for as long as you keep her happy. But whenever you lose her favor, all your stuff that you got from her is gone. And your relatives and your friends and your neighbors and the people who passed you in the street that one time, they are also in trouble just for glancing contact with you.
Oof.
So your Dabare that you worked so hard on, that is amazing.
Spools.
It's gonna work perfectly as long as Mami Wata is supporting you. But you better not cross her.
I mean, okay, yep, that checks out. So give the urban fantasy fans, you should read this because.
You should read this because I managed to convince the publisher to let me write a hard science fiction novel with a very heavy sprinkling of mysticism in there. and you can flat out read it with, this is all in the character's head, it's fever dreams, none of that is real. Or you can read it with, nope, that is a real demon / angel creature who hasn't decided which side she's on. And yeah.
The yes and. I love it. Oh, I love that. That's excellent. What else of yours should people check out, Joelle?
Well, obviously they should read the Valkyrie Initiative.
Well, sure. Oh, sure. No, but I meant other things of yours that are coming out. Yeah.
My other novel, I co-wrote with David The Road to Hell in the Multiverse series, and we are working on the next book of that tentative title, Band of Angels, but that might be cut because, you know what? The word hell is not in that title. So I need something else.
Gotcha. Got it. Hell Angels? No, that's a whole other thing. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Nice. That's so excellent. Also, I believe David Weber recently gave a shout out to that novel of yours that's coming out this fall.
Yes, for Dabare's Snake Launcher. Yeah, he was very kind. He said it was really, really remarkable, which was a wonderful thing for him to say. But also I thought, remarkable. It could be remarkably bad. That fits with Dabare.
The rest of his post made very clear. Yes, made very clear.
It could be remarkably
bad. Because when you just said it, I was like, no, I remember reading the word remarkable, but I remember it's a very positive post overall. There's lots of wow, and you should definitely check it out. So it was good. He was sorry he hadn't read it sooner. I mean, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I had sent it to him several months prior, and he wasn't saying anything. And I was like, ooh. Well, if he hates it, he won't say anything. I can count on that. Right. But he's not said anything. What does that mean?
Yeah, so I don't.
And he will not say something is good if he does not think it is. I had more than enough revision edits on things that I have submitted to him that I know he will tell me how it is.
That is fair. What is public and what is heard or maybe different, but yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. I cheered for you when I saw that. I love that. What question or questions do you have for me?
I thought I came up with a question, but I can't remember it now.
Oh, fair. Let me off easy. I like it.
Is there going to be a Valkyries too?
Oh, what a great question. So the plans for Valkyries. So the first anthology kicks off the Valkyries initiative. It will be followed by probably 3, maybe 4 novels. And then as long as the readers like it and want to see more, yes, there will be a second anthology. I'm thinking of it kind of like seasons. So the first anthology is like the introduction of various Valkyries. The first couple of books are, what is the Valkyries Initiative doing? And so in the second anthology will be, and then what happens when everything goes sideways?
Yes.
When the blessings are removed. It's not so great. So yeah, I already have one submission for that is incredibly good and 90% done. I think this was another of Joelle's connections to me, so it's pretty great. And I've got a couple of folks who I'm really excited to bring in. So I'm hopeful. I mean, as long as readers like it, which I think they will, but we'll see. I'm hopeful that Valkyries will be going on for a couple of years there. So man, that's a great question. Thank you. So we will be sure, Joelle, to have links for where people can find you right below this video and all that good stuff. But is there anything else you want to tell the people that will eventually be here?
If you see a book and you like the book, you should buy the book. If you want more of it, also post a review of the book. This is how you get more books that you like.
That's true. That is true. Yes, because what we are very much hoping. So these interviews are actually going to be the kickoff for the YouTube page for Chris Kennedy Publishing. And so we're hoping a little bit down the line there, when we've found folks to bring to our YouTube page, we can maybe do some roundtables, live stream, where people can talk to us about the characters, about what they're loving, and just have some like conversations with folks. Because, like Joelle says, we need to know you like it to keep doing it, and our publishers need to know that too.
Whatever sells best is usually what the writers end up writing, because we like to eat. You know, those pizza toppings, they cost money to get out extra pizza toppings on there.
That's right. You want mushrooms? You got to pay for mushrooms.
Yes.
Otherwise, straight cheese for you. No pizza. No, it's true. Well, which I guess is why, like you mentioned, there are some people who write things they don't really like, because that's where they think the sales are.
That's what's selling,
yeah. Which is thankfully not something we have to deal with at this time.
I learned about that from a panel on breaking into publishing. I think it was Patricia C. Reed who was, after everybody else talked, disagreed about what was the worst thing that could happen to you, which everyone else was saying that you never get published. And she said, actually, the worst thing that can happen is you get published for something you don't like writing, and it sells really well. And then every time you pitch something else to a publisher, they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to buy something from you, but not that. I want to buy this other thing that you sold really well.
Ugh. Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like it, because at least I get stuck. I get very precious about my writing sometimes, and I get in my own head, and I'm like, oh, it's terrible, nobody likes it. But then I remember, well, I'm having fun with it, so I can push through.
Yeah.
But if I didn't like it, oof. So yeah, combo, guys. We like to make money from it for sure, and also we enjoy it, and hopefully that plays through when you're reading it. Because, come on. Joelle, did we tell them the title of your story?
Do you want to tell them? The Troll Ate My Homework is the name of my story.
So good. And in an urban fantasy world, that could be literal, that could be figurative, could be both. So you're gonna have to buy the book, read it, find out, see what it is. That's amazing. Well, Joelle, thank you so much for, one, being part of Valkyries, because you're amazing, and two, being here with us today. It was so great to talk to you. Yes. All right, folks, we will be back here another week. I don't know when these are coming out, but as they come out, we'll have more for you, leading up to the release of the Valkyries Initiative Anthology, Book 1. So stay tuned. Okay, bye, guys.